out here coming at you guys with another video. Now today we're going to be doing a full seamless sew-in with the natural part, and this is my client and her hair is super long and thick and pretty anyway, but sometimes you just want to go ahead and put your hair up and give it a break, but you want to give it a break safely. So this is just me personally, I never braid my client's perimeter ever. It doesn't really matter how thick your hair is. Everybody's temples are very, very, very sensitive. Even when I do closures, I don't leave that much hair out, but I always make sure I brush the fine hairs completely out of the way. So I'm just gonna do her braid pattern, and right now the braid that you see dangling is leave out, and then I'm sectioning off her leave out because she wants a middle part. It's so funny because my last couple of clients that I'm uploading for you guys are in the military, yes. So anywho, we're gonna do a middle part, and we're leaving the least amount of hair out as possible. The way I gauge a middle part is I look downward towards my client's nose and see the middle of my client's nose, and then straight up it gives you like the perfect middle part every freaking time, every time. So originally, like right now, we're playing with the amount of hair we're gonna leave out, and then you're gonna see I changed my mind, like no, we don't need that much hair out. And she also asked to leave her to not have any hair out in the back whatsoever. So you'll also see a technique that I'm going to use where I put the track under the braid. So the track under the braid, which isn't one I made up. Everybody does that if they don't. So that's pretty much it, and you're also gonna see that I move and put my finger in something every so often, and that is my hydration batter. I always use the hydration batter as I'm braiding my client's hair down. It makes the hair have an amazing slip, and you're able to moisturize your client's hair with growth enzymes as you braid it down for this weave that's gonna be in their head for a couple of months. So that's pretty much it for now. You guys just keep watching, and I'll always put all of the information that I give you guys in the description box below. So keep watching. Okay, so our braid down is done, and I always use the same piece of thread that I used to sew the braid down to go ahead and start my first track with, just because it gives me really good leverage and really good control over the first track. Because for me to make it seamless, I like to attach the braid right under the braid, Lord Jesus Lord, the track right on the edge of that first braid, and so when I'm using that same piece of thread, it's just anchored in the perfect way, so it makes it really easy for me. But you guys will see that this whole first row I am going to go ahead and put under the braid. A lot of problems that we make, even as it pertains to your clients' edges, like getting thin or their hair falling out, is because you're sewing the actual track through the braid and it's just in an unnatural way, so it'll be like one little piece on the corner that the thread is pulling on instead of the entire braid. So that's why it's imperative that you have to make sure you have proper track placement and that you're using the right type of slip knot, because if it's not a knot there at the end, then the track is just rubbing back and forth, and that's why some people, you'll notice, they get weaves and their hair grows like a weed, but then you have other people who get weaves and their hair is like broken off, like right where that new growth like stopped, that's where it's a bunch of breakage. That's because the track has been sewn through the braid in an unnatural spot instead of under the braid. So everybody, please remember that if you don't listen to anything else that I say. But if you look closely, you can see that you can almost see the bottom of the actual braid, of that first braid. So this is going to make it so she can still put it up in a ponytail and you don't got to worry about seeing no braids, girl. So you're going to keep going all the way around, and I am doubling this track. I'm actually doubling all of her tracks because her head isn't that big and we want it to be very, very full. Now this part here is the part where most people go wrong when it comes to extensions and why it's really, really bulky. So I never cut my wefts except for when we get to the very, very top where it's kind of weird to flip it, but I'm flipping my track. And as you can see, I'm splitting up that double track at the bottom, and then after I sew that first stitch, then I'm gonna go ahead and join it and start doubling again. But it's really, really important that you do that if you want it to remain seamless, because if there's a lump there from that end of that double track, then it's not really gonna be that seamless, girl. Naturally, there aren't bumps in your head. So it's a method to being able to flip your tracks, but flipping your tracks instead of cutting them every time you come to a place where it needs to be flipped, then that like minimizes shedding, and just cutting your tracks up is annoying because Lord Jesus, it's annoying for the person who got to put it in. It's like puzzle pieces. Lord, it's just not cute. Stop doing that, girl. Just bend your tracks, girl. But yeah, I'm gonna keep doing the same thing, and then if I do something different, I'll come back. Okay, so the closer we get to the top, I start to alternate between using single wefts and double wefts. But whenever you flip over, especially at the very, very top, you want to make sure that you either use a single weft, or this is the portion that is okay for you to go ahead and cut, because sometimes actually like around the perimeter, the closer you get to the middle of your client's head, it just becomes a whole lot of tension sometimes. So sometimes it's better to just cut it than flip it over, because even if you get it really, really flat, it's still a lot of tension on your client's head around that spot. And keep in mind, that's where we're putting our ponytails and stuff like that. So you just really, really, really want to be cautious of that. And so after I cut her weft, I went a couple of inches and then I sewed it on. So I didn't do this weft right on top of where we left off around the perimeter. It was after the perimeter. So this is what I mean by adding on. So as you can see, I am doubling this track here. And we're just going to keep doing the same thing all the way around. And then you're going to notice that when I get to the very last track, I'm sewing over the braid, not under the braid, and that just gives it like a way like smoother appearance. I was about to say flatter, but that's not a word, and I still said it, but I feel like the word flatter okay. So now that it's in there and we all in there like swimwear, I'm gonna give her some subtle layers, and I'm just slide cutting. I love slide cutting after I put in extensions because it gives me a really, really natural effect when I'm framing my client's face, and it allows me to customize her haircut to fit her actual like facial structure. So yes, and then I just sprayed heat protectant on her hair, which is Silk Fusion Polish. All of the information on Silk Fusion Polish is going to be in the information box below. So now I am just simply straightening her leave out, and you guys have seen her on my Instagram and on my YouTube before. I'll put a link to the video here, but you guys have seen her before, but this time I just curled her hair. And I think I also have a video from this color that's in her hair, and it actually came out really, really beautiful because they're highlights, so it blended in very, very well with these extensions. And if I'm not mistaken, I was about to lie to y'all, I do not know where this hair came from, but I'll leave it in the description box below whenever I find out. But I was about to lie for sure. But I'm just straightening her leave out because it makes it easier for me to get a very, very good blend when I'm curling her hair. And I'm just gonna simply give her some body curls with my Hot Tools flat iron Lord, curling iron. And I'm not gonna pin them this time because I don't want them to be as tight throughout the day, or just in general, like within the next couple of days. I want them to fall into being body waves. I don't want them to be really, really tight, so I am not pinning them. But however, I am letting them drop slowly with my hand, and then I'm placing them down so that the curl doesn't drop completely before it cools, because most of the time that's why your curls don't last, because you allow them to drop before they cool. So you can see I'm like sitting the curls on her shoulders a little bit, especially the ones that I want, you know, tighter. So this is pretty self-explanatory. Just keep watching. Okay, my love bugs, so we are approaching the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope it was a little informative to you guys. I'm just spraying her hair down with a couple of sprays of hairspray from Kimbra. I'll use Lord Jesus, I'll leave that information in the description box below as well. Make sure, if you're not doing so already, you're following me on Instagram, and when you get there, girl, turn on your post notifications, girl. And also, if you don't know already, the Sendao collection has completely relaunched, and we're having a sale right now for 50% off. So make sure you head over there and you shop. And like I said, leave your requests below if you have anything that you want to see, because this was a very, very, very highly requested video. So many of you guys have been asking me to do weaves and stuff other than natural hair, so here's a little something something. But yeah, make sure you leave your requests below, and if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, share this video, girl. Bye, girl.